What's up, guys? I figured I'd do a quick video of kind of like a normal day for me if I'm not working my day job. I'm usually doing side jobs. So yesterday I put up a video of this boat project. We got some work done to that. Basically, we were taking this four-stroke motor. It's a 150 Yamaha four-stroke. And we're taking off of this boat and we're putting it on a two-stroke boat for one of my older customers. I've done some work to his F-150 for him, and he reached out to me to do this. But that was yesterday. So today we're doing work for one of my really good customers. He owns a limousine and transport company for like the airport. So we're doing oil changes on all his vehicles. So there's 6 of them. We got 6 oil changes. And his lot is close to my house. So I figured since I have the time today, I'll just pick up each car individually and bring them to my house and do a once over, check them all out, make sure everything's good, see if there's any pending codes or anything like that. And yeah, so we're gonna start that now. This is the first one up, and we'll get cracking on it, get this knocked out, and it shouldn't take too long. 6 oil changes, maybe 30-45 minutes a piece, just to look over the car, and then we could probably start working on this boat again. I'd like to get the shift linkage and the hydraulic cables out for the hydraulic steering, and possibly even the gauges. So we'll see if we could get any footage of that. So I'm gonna get started. Some full synthetic, high mileage. All these cars have a lot of miles on them. Some of these are going to take more than 5 quarts too, but I have a bunch of extra oil left over from the last time we did these oil changes because he bought the boxes. So if we need more oil, you can always use that. And at the end, you guys saw me use the oil filter wrench to tighten up the oil filter a little more. Really don't suggest doing that unless you know what you're doing. But I wanted to make sure it was on there and it was snug. I don't want any leaks, and I always double check that the old oil filter has the seal on it. Because if you end up double sealing those or double gasketing it, you're gonna have a bad time. Put this 5 quarts in, we'll start it up, we'll get it off the ramps, and then we'll check the level, see where we're at. It's got some codes, so I am going to scan it, see what's going on. I just did a spark plug and a coil pack on this. I recommended we do all of them, but he wanted to hold off. He just wanted to replace the one that had an issue. So, you know, he's the boss when it comes to that kind of stuff. And I also save these jugs, and I'll put my old oil in them, and I'll bring them to my shop that I work at, my 9 to 5, because we have a heater that burns oil, and we need actual clean oil, you know, dirty oil, but clean oil with nothing else mixed in it to run the heater. So I bring it there, we dump it in there, and we use it for heat. So the previous mechanic that worked on this before I came around would put this black duct tape over the lights that were on, like the TPMS light and whatever that's for. It was on the ABS too, but I ended up pulling that and the check engine one off. So it just goes to show you, you know, you really gotta be careful with some of these people that you have do work for you. Let it run for a second. I'll let it sit. I'll let all the oil drain back into the motor, and we'll just check the level. This is something else that other mechanic did. They had a problem with one of the coil packs. I guess there was a break in the wire that went to that coil pack, so he cut it right here and ran this wire all the way over to the coil pack. And I talked to you know, the owner as well about that, but he said if it works, he doesn't want to address it, you know. He's trying to spend as little money as possible but still keep these cars going, and you know, sometimes that can bite you in the ass, but at the end of the day, he's the customer and I can only suggest things. So yeah. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna need at least another like 3/4 of a quart. So I'll grab some of that extra oil that I got inside, and I'll put it in that empty container and we'll top it off. So right there is like perfect. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but it took about another 3/4 of a quart. Just double check it one more time. Yeah, that's perfect right there. So I'll hook up the scanner and see what's going on with this thing. It does have a few codes. You know, there's really not much we could do except for just try to do preventative maintenance. Whenever I think there's a problem, or I think something's gonna go wrong, or something looks worn out, I'll let him know. But ultimately, it's up to his discretion if he wants to fix it or not. All right, so yeah, it definitely has some codes, which I knew it had codes, but I just still have to scan it always. And like I said, as long as it's running and driving, he really doesn't want to fix any of this stuff. So it's got lighting control module, driver seat module, driver door, restraint control, ABS, and PCM. So I'm worried about the ABS and the PCM basically. So we'll go into those, we'll see what's going on. If it's anything that needs immediate attention, I'll talk to him about it. And you know, we'll make a decision and see if he wants to get it fixed or not. All right, so I just got number 2 set up on the ramps. We'll get the oil drained out of this, get the filter off, get it filled up, do a quick scan. This has a bunch of codes. Last time I checked this, it had a bunch of pending codes and codes as well. So it has a few issues, ABS, couple of things with the transfer case and stuff, but like I said, this guy's running a business, and if it runs and drives and isn't giving him a problem, then he's not going to fix it. So looks like it's got brand new tires on it. That's nice. Get this one going. This one's about wrapped up. I'm just gonna fill it up with oil and I'll scan it. Like I said, I know this truck's got a bunch of codes. I'm just looking for anything new or anything immediate. That's why I like bringing these to my house from his lot, because then I get to drive them as well. And that tells me a lot about the car. I've been working on these long enough that I know the issues with each one. And, you know, if anything new pops up that is going to hinder the operation of his business, then we'll get it taken care of. This motor takes a little bit more than 5 quarts, so put the 5 quarts in, run it, get it off the ramps, check the level, and then top it off if needed. And I make sure that I just record the miles on each one. I could put tape and like or a sticker up in the back left or the top left of the windshield, but he's pretty good with keeping track of everything. He's good with, like, you know, using them all equally, so that when it's time to do these oil changes, they're all basically due for it. But I keep track of all the miles. I'll write that all down in my notes, and I'll screenshot it and send it to him, just so he knows when, you know, when it's going to need its next oil change. And he has cameras, like these rear view mirror cameras and all of these that sit right there, and they'll send him, if there's any codes, he's able to pull up the codes on his phone, and it also records the mileage, so it's really easy for him to keep track of everything. So I started this one, got it off the ramps, topped it off. It was a little low. It needed like another quart and a half. This is a V8. I believe it takes 6.5 quarts, but it's perfect now. Right where it should be. Close it up. I do check the fluids while I'm under here. Just make sure everything is topped off. Nothing's low. I don't see any crazy leaks. Take a quick look at the belts. Just put eyes on everything. Just saves time and money for him in the long run if we could try and be preventative and catch stuff before it happens. But that's basically it for the Armada. We got two more to do today, and then the other 2 tomorrow. So I'll plug the scanner in, see if there's anything new. I don't think there is, and you know, we'll go bring this back and pick up the next one. I think I got an Avalon and a Sienna left to do, and then 2 Avalons tomorrow. Clean FD. So this is the next one. It's a 2008 Avalon, and this is the one that just had 2 codes pop up. One for evap small leak, and then one for a camshaft position sensor. So we'll see what's going on with those once we get it back to the house. I think this has a decent amount of miles on it too.
By the way, let me address one thing that you said there. You said
it's only got 170. It's not too bad. So yeah, these Toyotas, if you're ever gonna do an oil change on one of these, you really need to buy this special oil filter wrench. AutoZone sells it. It's made by Performance Tool. I think it's like 15 bucks, but you cannot change the oil filter without it. And the way that these work is you're supposed to take off this bottom cap, screw this in, it drains the filter housing out, and then you could take the actual housing off so you don't make a mess. Honestly, it just takes too much time. I'm not afraid to get a little messy, so I just take that out anyway, because you got to replace the O-ring, and then I take the housing off. That's really it. So there's the O-ring in the bottom of here too. Put that new one in. And you grab your new oil filter. I really shouldn't have had that sitting on the ground, but it's all right. Screw this up in there. You're gonna want to put a little oil on the O-ring so that it doesn't bind going in. You could just hand start it. Once you got it, tight, I'm gonna get all this garbage out of the way, and we'll use the ratchet. Actually, we're just gonna use it. Just snug that up. I'm sure there's a torque spec for it, but it's really not that serious, to be honest with you. Make sure your O-ring is in the bottom and it's seated. Put this cap on, and then the cap is just a 3/8. Just put your 3/8 ratchet right on. Now snug everything down and you clean up the mess you made. We can fill it up with oil. So that's really it. Right on the money. Button this one up, scan it, see if those codes go away, because sometimes when the oil is old or not changed in these Toyotas, it will throw codes for that cam sensor. And I'm just going to make sure the obvious stuff is alright, like the gas cap is tight and it's not missing, stuff like that. We'll clear the codes, let it run, and rescan it, see what's going on.